What if I told you the president can't pass a single law? Congress can fire a judge and 330 million referees, that's us, get the final say every 2 years. Stick around for the next minutes, and you'll know the hidden gears, secret levers, and ancient tripwires that keep America's political machine both maddeningly slow and surprisingly resilient. Ready? Let's crack open the U.S. system. The big blueprint. Everything starts with a 4,400-word document written in 1787. The Constitution. Think of it as the machine's owner's manual that lays out who gets power, how they get it, and most importantly, how they can't abuse it. Its secret sauce. Separation of powers and checks and balances. A political rock, paper, scissors where no branch can permanently crush the others. The three branches. Who does what? First, the legislative branch. That is the Congress. This is the House of Representatives with 435 members. Further, the Senate with 100 members confirms presidential appointments and treaties, and can put officials on trial after impeachment. Why it matters: Congress writes the laws and controls the purse strings. No money, no mission. Second, we have the executive branch, the Presidency. The President is the head of state, commander-in-chief, chief diplomat, and CEO of the federal bureaucracy. What are his key powers? Veto legislation, but Congress can override with 2/3 vote. Appoint cabinet secretaries, judges, and ambassadors with Senate approval. Issue executive orders. Directions to agencies that carry the force of law inside the executive branch. His term, 4 years and max 2 terms, thanks to the 22nd Amendment. And third, we have the judicial branch, the courts. Supreme Court plus lower federal courts. Their job: interpret laws and the Constitution. They have a superpower: judicial review, the ability to strike down laws or executive actions as unconstitutional since Marbury versus Madison, 1803. The political Game of Thrones. Let's make some comparisons. Congress versus President. Congress makes laws, President can veto. Congress funds agencies, President runs them. President versus courts. President appoints judges, courts can rule presidential actions unlawful. Courts versus Congress. Courts can invalidate laws. Congress can amend the Constitution or restructure courts' jurisdictions. And the Senate must confirm judges. Result: gridlock by design. It's frustrating, and that's intentional. The founders feared concentrated power more than slow progress. Federalism, and why 51 power centers exist. The Constitution splits authority between federal and state governments. Washington handles coinage, the military, and interstate trade. States run education, policing, and elections. They often overlap. Cue the ongoing tug-of-war over healthcare or marijuana laws. And don't forget local governments, counties, cities, school boards. Power is onion-layered, not pyramid-stacked. The unwritten fourth branch. The Constitution never mentions parties, yet they dominate the landscape. Democrats and Republicans organize fundraising, primaries, and messaging. Primary: voters choose party nominees, often pushing candidates toward the ideological base before the general election drags them back to center. Third parties rarely win major office but can siphon votes and force big parties to adopt new issues. Parties supply the glue, in other words coalitions, and the friction, in other words hyperpartisanship, that shape governance. The fuel and the brakes. Campaigns cost billions. PACs, super PACs, and dark money groups buy ads. Fund grassroots drives, and lobby lawmakers. Critics cry legal corruption. Defenders say it's free speech. Either way, money determines who's heard, but not always who wins. Remember, every House member, no matter how well funded, still faces voters every 730 days. Yet the system's decentralized nature makes outright democratic backslides harder, though not impossible. The grand bargain of U.S. politics is agency. We complain about slow change, but we're also empowered with near-constant opportunities to course-correct. Voting, petitioning, protesting, running for office. These aren't bonus features. They're the machine's maintenance manual. The U.S. political system is messy by design, like a 3-player chess match played on 50 boards at once. But that mess, it's also a maze built to protect liberty. Now that you know the shortcuts and dead ends, the next move is yours. Smash that like button, share with your civics-starved friends, and I'll see you at the polls and in the next video.